Hey crypto fam, it's your boy Jojo with another crypto story. Before we get started, please hit that notification bell so you get all my video drops. Also, if you're a long time listener, I appreciate your support of the channel, guys. You guys give me the motivation to push out content every day. Trust me, it ain't easy. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you gain some value while you're here. Alright guys, let's jump right into it. Halloween is upon us, guys, but did you guys know that the infamous Satoshi Nakamoto actually released a Bitcoin white paper on October 31st of 2008, just months before Satoshi Nakamoto had registered the bitcoin.org domain name, indicating perhaps the first time the infamous cryptography expert realized he may be onto something. That Halloween day, he would send out the Bitcoin white paper to a cryptography mailing list, guys, announcing the project to the world. Nakamoto had hard-coded the entire project. One of the subscribers from that email list would be no other than Hal Finney, who actually became the first to accept a Bitcoin transaction from Satoshi himself. Hal Finney was shocked about how well Bitcoin worked and asked Satoshi how he came up with Bitcoin, which was a peer-to-peer transaction model with no centralized entity. Satoshi stated, and I quote, "I actually did this kind of backwards. I had to write all the code before I could convince myself that I could solve every problem. Then I wrote the paper," Nakamoto wrote on November 11, 2008, guys. Guys, that quote I read from Satoshi to Hal Finney shows that Satoshi must have been working on Bitcoin for years before releasing the Bitcoin white paper. The real question from many crypto influencers, users, and supporters: did Satoshi develop Bitcoin on his own? He admits that he had to write all the code first before he could solve every issue that could come up in the future. I could only imagine how long it would take to develop the code, then going through the code and fixing broken code, and then recoding new code to replace the weaknesses in the code. My head hurts just thinking about what Satoshi went through, if in fact he did this all on his own, guys. Bitcoin even back then grabbed attention from people in high positions, guys. For instance, an early 2010 email to John Matanis, a former Visa executive, congratulating him on a blog post. Matanis wrote about the long development of electronic money. Nakamoto said he wished, and I quote, "there was something like that when I originally researched this 3 years ago." That's what Matana said. Satoshi told the Visa executive that Bitcoin would be up his alley. Funny enough, Matanis would end up becoming a believer and go on to become a founding director of the Bitcoin Foundation. For a former executive of one of the biggest transaction company in Visa to be amazed by Bitcoin says a lot, guys, especially back then. Satoshi continued to promote Bitcoin to coders, users, cryptography, and many others, guys. He described Bitcoin as an electronic peer-to-peer currency-like system. It could become a currency so long as people ascribe value to it, and that could happen for any number of reasons, like wanting to collect interesting things or needing an alternative to using credit cards online. Satoshi from the beginning knew that Bitcoin has no central users or mint, as he sometimes called it. There isn't a central mint or company running it. As long as there are users, it survives, he wrote in the 2010 email to Matanis. Satoshi has been right so far. Since Bitcoin's inception, it has gone through ups and downs through the years. Every time Bitcoin was hit by the media, central banks, banning from countries, regulators, mining concerns, etc., the users across the world kept Bitcoin alive, like Satoshi said years before. They can't kill Bitcoin. Bitcoin will soon be in people's retirements due to these asset firms waiting for their spot Bitcoin ETF to get approved. I sometimes wonder what happened to Satoshi and if he's still alive. What does he think about his invention that he gave to the world? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this crypto story of the creator of Bitcoin. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok at NoCapCrypto with 2 O's at the end. And if you're watching me on YouTube, you already know what to do to help your crypto bro out against these YouTube algorithms. Until next time.